with the Mark Scott. I'm your host, and we're going to have a lot of fun this evening. We've got a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of music, a lot of history. You can call in at 313-355-6018. And so you're watching Off the Cuff with on WJZZ Cool TV. We're going to have some fun tonight. I got Mr. Ronnie McNair, really good friend of mine, and we go way, 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 way back. You guys are going to love this show. Ronnie, how you doing,
I'm
man?
good, Mark. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's going to be great, man. We're going to have some fun tonight. We got so much history together, and then you got so much history that goes way, 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 way back. I mean, I can remember you when I was a kid. Um, and I learned a lot from you too, bro. I really did. Being on the road with you, and then watching you with the Four Tops perform, and then your history with Motown is extraordinary. I followed you. I followed you. Yeah,
I'm
you.
glad somebody was following me.
Well, I did. I learned a lot from a lot of people. I was talking to Joe Billingsley the other night,
Okay.
and he was telling me about
Contours, Joe?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Contours Joe, yeah. And he was telling me some Motown history, and I learned a lot from him and Bobby and of the Miracles, and it's just been a really learning experience for me. So it's a pleasure for me to have you here, and an honor to be able to talk about what you're about to do, what you're doing. I know you just got back in the country. And so tell us what I really would like to know, and I think the people would like to know, is uh, how did you start with Motown?
With Motown, see, I didn't do but 1 year with Motown. They
Mm-hmm.
they bought the company I was with. I was with Bonnie Ades. You ever heard of Bonnie Ades?
Yeah, I did.
Bonnie Ades used to be executive. He was like, what was he? He was one of the executive guys at Motown for 12 years when they started. He was back in the what's that record? Mary Wells days.
Mary
Oh
Wells.
yeah, he's been with him back then. So
Okay.
he was there for like 12 years or so, and he left. Then he got this label called Prodigal. That's when, and I had a record out that I had did on my own. I had my own label. It was a record I called Wendy Is Gone. That's you we
Ah.
did. I did Wendy. We sold about 10,000 45s, and
Mm-hmm.
so he saw the record and he approached me and said, "I'd like you to come with me." And I said, "Well, what's in it for me?" He said, "I'll guarantee you airplay." Now, when he said that, even I was still, what was I, about 24, 25 years old then.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "You know what? Ain't nobody never said they guarantee you no airplay." And I said, "Without that, you ain't got nothing."
That's
So
right.
I went with him, and we got in the Billboard, man. My record was, I had about, I think I was 70 something in the Billboard. Next thing I know, his son called me up and said one morning, said, "You hear the news?" I said, "What news?" He said, "We're with Motown." I said, "You with Motown? What you mean I'm with Motown?" He said, "My dad sold the company." I said, "He didn't sell me." He said, "Yes, he did." I said, "What? You mean I'm with Motown? Oh, when I go to bed with Prodigal one night and wake up with Motown."
Yeah.
So I had to wait a few months, man, and negotiate with them, and that's how I got with Motown. But I didn't stay there but a year
Mm-hmm.
because my record was happening,
Mm-hmm.
and they just let it die and started negotiating with me about a new one. And after a whole year, I said they wasn't pushing me. I said, "Nah, man."
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote Mr. Gordy a letter. I said, "Look, man, my mom and dad still living, man. If you ain't gonna do nothing with me, let me go, okay? Don't let me blame this shit on you." And so he said, "You know what? You're absolutely right, Ron." And he gave me my release. And he always saw me when I needed to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I went up to Truesdale up there at his house, at his mansion, and he always received me. So he's my man. I don't care. They didn't do nothing with me, but he's my man.
Yeah,
So
yeah, Barry's a great guy. He really is. I got a chance to meet him down, him and Smokey down. Bobby introduced me to him down at the museum, where the museum is right now. And yeah, I admire his tenacity. Um, yeah, that's really great. I love that song. I did that song.
Wendy,
Wendy is gone.
yeah,
It's popping in the UK, man. I mean, they love it.
that's good.
They probably, you got a production company, a
Sunset Island.
publishing,
Well,
publishing.
Tight Squeeze is my publishing, but I
Mm.
got my production company in Sunset Island.
Okay, All right, all right. And that's the same name at your club?
That's my club. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead now. Go ahead.
I like stuff that's island kind.
Okay, yeah, okay, all right. All right. Just got back from Jamaica, man. So
You did?
yeah, so I can relate to that that island thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, when Bobby introduced me to Duke Fakir, um, I learned a lot from him as well. How's your relationship with Duke?
My relationship is good with Duke. See, I was with him years before I became a four-top through Obi Benson.
Obi.
Now, Obi was, Obi wrote What's Going On, Save the Children, and Holy Holy Holy
Stop.
on Marvin's album. So when I met Obi, I met him when I was doing some shows in Pontiac, and Darling John, that's Little Willie John's wife, and the John brothers' mama. So they came to a concert I was doing. We would put on concerts up in Pontiac, and they brought Obi one day. That was like in 1974, and I met him, and we hit it off, man, from that day, and did 34 years together before he died, man.
Yeah.
We became really friends, but he got me, and years later he got me to come into the Four Tops to play keyboard because George Roundtree went out on he was sick, and I came in and played a few months. George came back, and they wanted me to stay. I just stood around, Then Duke told me one day, "Hey man, start learning the background and the steps." I said, "For what?" I think they saw that Levi was getting tired at that time because it was 2000, and I became a four top in January 2001. I became a full-fledged four top, but I was step in for Levi when he retired. He didn't want to do it. Sometimes he come say, "Suit up." I said, "For what? You here?" And he said, "I don't feel like it, man." And one of the most funniest stories about that, we were playing in New York at the Westbury over there, this theater in the Round. So he came up and said, "Suit up, man." And then again, I said, "Man, you here?" He says, "I don't feel." So they wore white satin suits and royal blue shirts, white shoes. Now, I don't have everything they got as far as, they would throw me a Levi's suit.
Right.
So I didn't have I couldn't wear his shoes. Man, I wore 12 and a half. So I had black shoes. So they couldn't find the white ones. They said, then Obi said, "Well, I wear my black ones." I said, "Well, that's what you're going to have to do because I ain't going out there with y'all in white shoes and I'm in black. You crazy?" Black shoes, white suit, and royal blue shirt. Yeah. So when it got time to go down the ramp, nobody found the shoes. And I said, "Well, I got to go. I can't do them like that." So I went on down there. Man, as soon as we got up there on the stage, somebody hollered out, Where's Levi?" But at that time, they had Theo Peoples.
Yeah. Oh, Theo, yeah.
Theo had took Lawrence's place when he passed.
Right.
And so he moved Theo up to lead singer. And so Duke, when I got up on the stage, and then somebody hollered out, "What's up with the black shoes?" Sometimes people, they don't give a shit about nothing, man. So anyway, Duke told him, I said, "If you don't make some kind of story about what's going on with these clothes, I'm walking off the stage." So he told him that the outfits, everything didn't come.
Right.
And we did. But to answer your question, man, Duke just recently had some procedures. And he hasn't been with us since September. He's trying to come back, but we'll see. But the thing about it is, that's the first time that for 22 and a half years, he wasn't on the stage with me. Now, he'll let me go and do gigs. I do gigs all over overseas on my own because I had my own name before I got with him.
Sure.
But as a four top on the stage, that's the first time, man. About 5 years ago, he broke his hip.
Yeah, I remember
He
that.
fell, broke his hip. We were in Jersey. He got up on the stage the next day in a wheelchair and made sure it was 4 men on the stage. So that's let me know. So he did 69 years, man.
Yeah.
So he's my man. He's good.
Duke is awesome. He gave me a lot of good advice. And just in case you didn't know, Ronnie is a prolific keyboard player. This brother can play the piano. I watched you in your video. Didn't you play in your video, your Christmas video? That piano in the background, that's you playing the piano, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can hear it. I can hear it. You remember when we did that club, and
Yeah, downtown.
you pulled me up on the stage,
Right, okay.
and I sang the second verse
Of,
instead of Wendy is gone.
okay.
Instead of singing the first verse, I sang the second verse.
Okay. That's when you redid it yourself.
Yeah. No, but you were singing it,
Okay.
and you was doing it, but your version is a little different from mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, where am I here? Where am I in this song? But you was playing the keyboard that night too.
All right.
Yeah. Ronnie is an awesome talent. Okay, well, you guys just did a show. Tell me about it.
Well, we just finished a tour on the East Coast. We did 8 days. We had 2 days off, 10-day tour almost.
Mm-hmm.
So we played the MGM Grand in D.C. Then we went to the Hard Rock in Atlantic City. Then we went on up the horn. We went to Rhode Island. And we came back down to New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got home yesterday morning. So
Okay, all right.
that's what I've been doing with them, man. I got to be one of the most blessed people on earth, man.
You are, yeah.
I sang for an hour. Play golf all over the world. You know, I like playing golf.
Yeah.
It's just, you know what I mean, all expenses paid. And I've seen things that I never would have dreamed I would have saw, man. Like, you know, when we got a chance to be in Australia together.
Yeah,
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember
in
that.
New Zealand?
Yeah.
What we doing in New Zealand? Who I know in New Zealand?
Yeah. I love that though, man, because they hold on to their rituals.
They received us very well.
They really did. They really did.
It's-
Came on the bus and told us what not to
It
do.
was 26,000 people on the side of that hill in New Zealand.
Is that right?
Yeah, remember we did that?
I do remember that. Yeah.
So like when we go every other year.
Wasn't Mary with us that?
Yeah, Mary was with us.
Because I remember walking down, I said, Mary, do you see that? It was like a sea of people.
Mm-hmm.
She said, yeah, I see it. 26,000. I didn't know how many it was, but I know it was a lot of it, just as far as you could see. It was
Man,
people.
we played the O2 in London, where that Michael Jackson played there.
Yeah.
They put us the Temptations, and they used to put another group with us, Tavares. And we'd all do that gig, man, and pack the O2. And it still amazes me and makes me feel proud to represent something that was done 60 years ago, man.
Yeah.
That music was done, Sugar Pie, Honey Punch, all that. That's a long time, man, and the people jump up and down like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I go on the stage and I just sometimes I say, you know what, Lord, thank you for my daddy buying my mama a piano and making me play the piano.
Yeah.
That's how I got in this.
Yeah, is that right?
So, yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I remember that gig in Australia because Otis.
And we didn't play for 6 days out of 30. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
We went all over Australia, the east, west, down there,
Yeah. Because Otis was standing behind the mixer,
Mm-hmm.
and he came up to me after the show and he said, "You're natural. You got this.
Yeah, this guy's talking about everybody else's talent. He's a great singer too. He's a bad man, yo. Yeah.
Well, I learned from the best. I worked with Ronnie,
Ron Banks?
No, Ron Banks.
Yeah.
And I was down there United with
Who you think is the best falsetto singer? Ron Banks or Eddie Kennedy? Or Russell Thomas?
I don't compare them. I said people do that,
Well,
but
yeah.
to me,
Who's your most favorite? Put it that way.
Eddie.
Ron, me.
Eddie was my favorite, but they had different styles.
Yeah.
They didn't sing. When working with Ron, he didn't imitate anybody.
No,
he was Ron Banks.
Ron was bad. Ron could go into falsetto from his natural, and you would know it.
And you would know it.
You would think he was singing.
Yeah. Eddie did that too.
Yeah.
Eddie did that too.
But to me, the Dramatics is one of the best R&B groups ever.
Mm.
They really, they're something, man.
Yeah.
Even when Wjzz was there, when
Yeah,
LJ came,
I was just about to say.
he kept it going.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. So I'm down at United, and I'm sitting on the floor, me and Ryan writing songs, and Bootsy walks in. And I didn't know who he was. I did not know who he was. He didn't say a word, but he had a suit on and a briefcase in his hand. I thought he was an accountant or something, and I looked up and I said, yeah. He said, yeah, baby. I said, Bootsy. He said, yeah. And that's how I met Bootsy.
Now the most different musical situation I ever been in was I traveled with Ike and Tina Turner when I was 21.
Stop.
I went overseas with
See,
them.
that's what I want to know.
Yeah,
They want, you guys want to know this, right?
my first time going overseas was with Ike Turner. I was 22,
Uh-huh.
and we did a month over there, and so that's something. And before I went, they buttered me up. I didn't know it was going to happen.
Uh-huh.
Clarence Paul, who used to be Stevie Wonder's producer, he
Okay.
did all the fingertip stuff with him and blowing in the wind. And I met Clarence, and he became my mentor too, because he was in that. They were all the generation above me, him and
Okay.
Obi with the 4 Top. And so Clarence took me to Ike Turner's studio one day, and there was a guy was doing a session that Clarence had, and he was playing the piano, and he was messing up. So Clarence said, "Man, go straighten out there." I said, "CP, you know, I don't try to front nobody like that, man. Wait till the cat leave, man, then I'll do it. You know, I'm
Of
not
course
that kind
not.
of way." And then he said, "Man, just go straighten the shit out." I said, "Man,
His
I'm
brother
not
got
gonna do
class.
that,
If
man."
you had class or what?
Well, you don't do that.
No, you don't. You
Not
don't.
really, you know. I don't, because the cat messed up. So what? I done messed up.
Me too.
So anyway, when he left, I went over there. Clarence got mad because I wouldn't do it then. I said, "Man, I'm not doing it till he go." So when he left, I went and played it. So Ike's road manager was there, guy named Leon Blue. So he walked up to me and said, hey, boy, can you play the blues?" And I looked at him. I said, "Man, I'm born in Alabama, man. What you mean, can I play the blues?" So I started playing some blues. So next thing I know, Ike comes in. Never had met Ike. I'm just at his studio, Pollock Sound. And Ike walked up to me and just said, "Well, how you doing, man?" And I said, "All right, I'm running." And had me $100 bill. Now, that's another, you know, that right there kind of was a little fishy to me. I looked at Clarence. I said, "Hey, man, what this all about?" I said, "The man just gave me $100 bill. Oh, he wants you to play for him." I said, "Well, why don't he say something then? I don't know what he want this. What he want? What he want for this?
No, you want for this 100.
I may not be into that." So,
Hold a second, Brian. We're going to get back to that. Wait a minute. You're watching Off the Cuff. You're watching Off the Cuff with Ronnie McNair. I'm your host, Mark Scott. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like us, follow us, comment, call in 313-355-6018. That's 313-355-6018. Anytime you want to. And follow the prompt when they tell you what to do to get in, and you can talk to Ronnie and ask a question. So this is Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Now go ahead and tell me about Ike.
so where was I at? I said, so he left. So he went on out of there after that, you know, and he hired me when Clarence said he wants you to play for him. I said, okay. So he started giving me $400 a week to come and just play at his studio. One day we were in there just messing around, and his music was more blues and stuff like that. Wasn't no major 7 chords involved.
Right, okay.
He just still dun 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 dun, that kind of stuff. But I knew it. So one day I was in the studio in there, man, and here comes Eddie Bongo Brown and James Jamerson. They walked in the studio. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
So they walk in, and
James Jamerson is a famed bass player from Motown.
one of the Funk Brothers, main Funk Brothers, bass player.
Main Funk Brothers.
So he came in, and then now Sly Stone walks in. Do you hear me? So I said, "Oh man, that's something." And so we got on. Ike started this song up, and it went something like this: "Too much free time to on your mind, to thinking about your baby, to everything and everyone."
Yeah.
So we all started jamming. We was using Ike's drummer, and I was on the piano. James was on the bass, and Eddie was jamming, man. And so Jameson stopped and asked, "Hey, wait a minute, man, was that a 2/4 bar?" I said, "What?" He didn't know nothing about that. It was funny, man. But he had his own groove. And one thing I respected about Ike Turner, now they say a lot of things about him all they want, but you know what I saw? He ran his ship. I don't care what way he ran his ship.
Yeah.
So after that, I left there, man, and I went back home to Michigan, and I That was in '72. I did that, and I came back, and now in '76 is when I got with Motown. And the first person that I met there, I was at Joe Bett, at the publishing company. They had a building where you go up there and do your writing and stuff. And I heard this little girl sing. So I said, so I asked the secretary. I said, "Who is that?" She said, "A little white girl." I said, "You lying." So I went around the corner, and there this girl was sitting in there, and I said, "What's your name?" She said, "Tina." She said, "Tina Marie." I said, "Tina Marie." I said, "I'm writing McNair." I said, "You got a project here?" She said, "No, they just used me to do demos for Diana Ross and Thelma Houston." I said, "I'm going to ask Mr. Gordon, can I do something with you? Because you sound black, okay? And you white, that might be something."
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I called him up. I said, "Hey, man," I said, "BG, you got girls, the white girls sound black, man. Let me do something on her." All right, man, all right, man. So I did 8 songs on her, man. She wrote 5 of them, and I did 3. And we did it, and we didn't ever get to finish them. They came to me after 8 songs and said, "We think you're taking her in the wrong direction." I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "We want her to be a rock artist." I said, "You crazy? This girl got black in her throat." No, because she's going to be an R&B or jazz singer.
Yeah.
But they took her away from me. But, whatever it was, I was, at that time, I was out there doing things I might not supposed to do and all that kind of stuff. So they probably thought I had other intentions for her. But it wasn't even like that.
Yeah.
We respected each other musically, man. She was so glad. When I got in the studio, the engineer would say, "Man, she's pinning the needles." I said, "That's okay, man. Just turn it down a little bit." I said, "Because she's happy that she's doing her own thing now." I said, let her belt it on out, man. Let her get it out."
I still got her phone number in my phone.
Me too.
Yeah.
She's great, man. And so,
I think
anyway,
we're getting a
that's.
call. I think we're getting a call in.
Oh, okay.
Somebody gonna call in and talk to Ronnie McNair. We're having a ball here. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you? I have a question for Mr. McNair.
Okay. Oh yeah. Ronnie.
How you doing?
My name is Joan Belgrave.
Oh, Joan Belgrave. Do I know you?
I don't know, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
As a producer, tell me what it is that you admire, or what it is that you try to bring out of people that you produce.
That's something I think about that. What is? Well, first thing I'll be trying to get a hit anywhere
For
I can
sure.
think of.
For sure.
But, I don't know if I have any kind of special thing that I do to, I just let a person do their thing, and if I hear what I need to hear, then that it's a wrap. So I go by the person.
Okay.
There's nothing.
Okay, so do you come into a situation with an idea about that person, or do you just let it develop between the two of you?
Well, if I even deal with it, it means something interested me about the voice. So, and I let them do their thing. And most of the time, when you let a person do their thing, they'll show you something else. See about it. Sometimes you mouth feed a person a melody, and you want to do that because if you don't, they'll do all kind of runs and won't do your melody of the song.
At all.
I ran into a lot of artists that say, "Well, if I do it that way, I sound like you." I said, "Say, my girl, do you sound like Dave Ruffin? The hell you talking about? Just do what I want you to do, okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you can't do that, go on, do it.
Yeah.
Go find somebody else to do something."
Yeah.
So I do like that.
Thank you. I've enjoyed. I'm going to let you guys get back to your conversation. I just want you to know I'm enjoying hearing it. But thank you so much, and have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
That was Joan Belgrave, ladies and gentlemen. She's a jazz singer. She's a producer, an entrepreneur. I mean, she does just about anything and everything you could think to do. A very talented and prolific individual. Thank you, Joan, for calling in. Yeah, well, when I produce somebody, I try to bring their character out. And not influence it as much. But you're right. I do want them to deliver the melody.
Back in the day, the producers at Motown, you don't ask about, can I do it this way? No. Do your own song. This is our song. We want it like this.
This, right.
And really, what it really is, when you do an arrangement, everything is supposed to work together. Just
Right.
like you have the music on paper and the
Right.
musicians read the paper, read the music.
Right.
It's done like that because it goes along with something else.
Yeah.
So when you get, if this comes to you doing this, you start singing, and when you're supposed to just do three blind mice, but you start doing three blind mice, all that old shit, you messing up the melody.
Right. Right.
Now on another track, what I do is say, okay, now you did what I wanted you to do. Now let me hear you what you're talking about. And then when it gets on, if it's something that touches me, I say, okay, that's pretty cool. We put that there.
Right.
I don't just ignore what they
No,
talking
no,
about,
no, no.
but give me what I want first.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, Don used to tell me, you know, when I would do things like that, Don Davis, producer of
Yeah.
the Dramatics, Al Hudson, Enchantment, all those people.
I did a song on Bobby Womack with him over there.
Yeah. He would say, "You're a singer. You're a vocalist, right? Then vocalize, sing the song. That's what I want you to do. I didn't ask you to rearrange it. I didn't ask
There
you
you
to
go.
write it. I didn't ask you to do anything. I just want you to deliver that song." And that's the same thing that Bobby told me too. Because you know, I would say, "Well, I don't sound like Smokey." You know, he said, "All you got to do is deliver the song."
Well, you know, Bobby came to me one day when I think it was when Billy left. Billy Griffin left. This is before you even got that.
Before me.
Because I think Dave was before you, wasn't he?
Mhm.
So David Finley was my friend from Pontiac.
Right, of course.
And so Bobby came to me and said, "Hey man, I need somebody." And David had a kind of Felipe Wynn sound when he sang. He had that kind of groove, you know. And I said, "I got a guy, man. Hopefully you like him." So Bobby came to my house, came to my basement and listened to Dave, and left out of there with Dave. He
With
said,
Dave.
"Thank you, man." I said, until the day he passed, Dave
Yeah.
he would never go somewhere and say, he would tell people all the time, "Man, this is the reason why I got with the Miracles." I said, "No, it's not. You're the reason. All I done was just sent you to the job interview, man. You
Right.
know, you got the job. It wasn't me."
Right. Toured with him for about 12 years.
But he was always thankful that
Yeah.
I did that for him. And I said, "Man, look, you won the job.
Mhm.
You know, I just dropped you off at the place." I told him, you know,
We did a song together.
yeah, you and Dave.
Me and Dave, yeah. I still got it too. I'm gonna try to get with his wife and see if I can release it.
Well, I'm sure she.
You recorded it first in Vegas.
What?
Um,
He had a lot some different songs.
it's a real
Cooling Out on You.
no, that ain't the one. It's like a what's that boy that sings with the Dramatics play keyboard? I mean Isley Brothers.
Help Me to Stand?
Chris,
Okay, I don't know.
Jasper.
Okay.
Okay, he did a song about Martin Luther King and that it's got flavor like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't called Help Me to Stand. Not that one. No, it was something.
Stand Up.
Stand Up. There you
Yeah,
go. Okay.
that's the one. That's the one.
He and his boy Vern Hodge.
Is that what
Vernon
happened?
Hodge was his writing partner. They were like they was like Isaac Hayes and what's my man and used to write with Isaac. When something is wrong with my baby, both of them wrote that song.
Okay, I know what you're talking about, but I can't pull it up. But I redid that track. It was a monster because you had played it, and it was challenging.
Yeah.
I to say the least, it was very challenging. But we got it done. Dave Finley, yeah, fine man. You know, I miss him. Let me play one of your songs, and you can still talk. But I'm gonna play you a Christmas song here, and we can continue to talk. But tell me about the club that you're opening up.
Well, I've been wanting to do a club for years, man. A long time ago, I saw this movie Casablanca, and had Humphrey Bogart in it, and they had this club that was on the ocean. And I used to say, boy, I said, I sure would like to have me something like that. And I was like in my late 20s when I saw that movie. So through the years, you know, I always said to myself, I want to have a club, but I never act on it, man. You know how we do. You make your money, sometimes you're frivolous with it, throw it away. I was like that, man. I'm a thrill of the moment guy from 10 years old. So,
Okay.
you know, when you do your money like that, you mess
Yeah,
yourself.
for sure. Yeah.
So finally, I got
Youth.
No, what it was, God wouldn't let me take that extra step and send me to the penitentiary or the graveyard.
Yeah.
God, God would cuss me.
For sure.
Get your ass over there. And believe it or not, me and him be having some, I said, what?
Yeah.
But,
That's good though. That's good though.
It's things that he made me get my mind together and do it. It's all in your own self. So he made me do it. But the club finally last year, I came to this guy. I saw this club that had been sitting there for a minute. And the building was vacant, and I saw it before. And so a friend of mine said, man, that club was available. You was looking at it. I said, what? So I went and talked to the man. I said, look here, mister. I was an Italian guy, and Russ. And he said, I said, let me try this for 6 months. If I can't do this in 6 months, I ain't gonna do it. And we went down and negotiated the price, and he let me do it. So it took me, I thought I was gonna do it in 6 months, but it's been a year now. It's a year since I started out. But we went in and we started remodeling, and when the man saw that I was for real, he stuck with me, came in and said, go on and get yourself together, man. I'm with you until you get ready to open. I said, my man. So now we'll be open in March, and it's based on
March.
Yeah, I always like island type stuff, man. I love the ocean island. So when I thought about that club, so I went in and I said, let's do this. So I brought my friend in, and I said, a guy that went to school with me from 7th grade. Both of us was in art class. He went on and stayed with it. I went on the wayside, but I came out all right. So I went and got him. I said, hey, his name Ricky Sherrill. I said, Rick, look at this, man. I want to bring something like the Cotton Club.
You say Ricky Shore?
Ricky Sherrill.
Sherrill, okay.
He coming up here. I said, I want to bring something like the Cotton Club or Harlem Night, that kind of nightclub, man, something never been here. And he said, I understand you, Mac. He said, but you know what? He said, just a new millennium. He said, I know you want to be classy. He said, but you want a club like Ghost and Power. I looked at him, I said, can you do that? He said, yeah. I said, how? He said, LED lights. I said, look, man, well, this is all I want you to do for me. Draw me a mural. You know that's 40 feet across there in the back of my stage. I said, draw me a mural of the sun setting on the ocean. Can you still paint pictures? He said, yeah. So he painted me that mural, man. 3 weeks later, I went and he brought tears to my eyes, man. I came in and he was finishing the last touches of it, man. It just hit me, man. I said, and I started seeing my vision. And then I had 2 palm trees that I wanted to put on the east side of the stage. And when I went and got them, the big ones and the ones that light up, man, it just hit me. I said, you know what, man? I said, the rest is you, bro. Do what you do. So we got it looking, when you go in there, you're at Sunset Island.
I can't wait.
Yes.
You gonna be there the 22nd, I think?
Yeah, that's the thing that happened for me on my wife's birthday.
Sure, birthday thing. I saw that.
And the only thing I hate, you know what I hate about that when you invite people? Anytime you're doing something that you invite somebody, you end up missing more people than you invited because you know so many people. Man, I know so many people, they can't even get in the club. And that's what I would want. Come on, y'all. And when they get too many, you can't nobody else get you to get in. But you miss so many people when you do it like that, It's going to be some people after that probably say, man, I'm supposed to be at that party. I said, look, man, you sit down and remember everybody. Try to remember everybody and write them down. So, but the club actually opens end of March, maybe early April.
Okay. I should be back by then. We're supposed to go overseas, so.
Plus, we're on Thursday nights blues night. I got entertainment each night, live entertainment.
Okay.
And Thursday is blues, so a person can know they can always come to Sunset Island and watch blues on Thursday.
Sunset Island.
And then on Friday night, I have ballroom stepping. The dancing. My first act there will be Spider Turner. Gonna be my first.
Stop. Okay.
Hey,
Spider.
Spider can do it all. He's a great artist, man.
Yeah.
Saturdays I let the hip hop crowd have their night, and they don't need the live entertainment. They like to jam with the DJ.
Right.
Sunday night is my jazz night, and Turhan Terrell, he's going to be my opener there.
Okay.
That's Errol Van Dyke's son from the front line. So.
Okay.
Then I changed the people around, let them have 2 or 3 weeks. Then I changed it up and let all of the metropolitan area be able to work. Come with me. Just give me a deal, y'all, and y'all can work. You always have a night, you can work.
Yeah.
So it's something that's never been there, man. And I took my chance to bet on myself in my city, and even when you're trying to get the banks to help you, the banks was telling me, get out of my face, bar business. I said,
Sure.
okay, all right, but can't y'all understand that this is an exception to the rule? I'm in a place where there's nothing happening, especially for my people. Really and truthfully, for Afro American people, and this is the way of the world. And most places where we are, we don't have what we can really have.
Right, right.
We're always at the last to do. You got your Italian places, you got your Chinese places,
Right.
restaurants, you got this restaurant. We always have to go somewhere else where it's not our own ethnic type thing.
Right, right.
In my place, we can be us. I know that we like to dress.
Yeah.
Be sharp,
That's
okay?
right, that's right.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. So
Right.
I'm supplying a demand that I know we like to do. So when you come in my place, be dressed to impress, and it's gonna be a good place to meet. And we're telling who you might meet in there. Come check it out. Sunset Island, 7 North Saginaw Street, Suite 2B, Pontiac, Michigan.
Right. Oh man, I'm gonna be there. I'm honored to have gotten an invite from
You'll
you.
probably be working there too. Once a month, I'm gonna bring name acts too. I'm gonna bring list stylistic, dramatics, enchantment. A lot of these cats a lot of people not working like they could. So naturally, they give me a deal. Hey, come on, man. So y'all can keep on doing y'all thing.
Yeah.
And it'll bring a different thing to Pontiac too. Well, everything we do, we got to go somewhere else. We got to come to Detroit.
Yeah.
Southfield. We can't even
Right.
get soul food no more, man. We got to come. So I'm specializing in that.
Soul food.
Oh yeah.
You know how hard it is to find good soul food?
I'm telling you, man.
Even in Detroit.
Well, we used to have it on every other block. A sister or somebody's mother or grandmother know how to do that. So I'm gonna go, and they telling me I gotta have a chef and all that. I said, well, wait a minute. I get me a chef for his license, but I'm gonna go to the hood. Hey, Miss So and So, I need you to come over here and put your recipe in here.
Right.
How much you charge?
Right.
Get it right.
Right. And
So-
that'll bring them back because that's like home.
That's right.
That's like home cooking stuff.
Well, when you get a tape, you had I got a board. Well, I'm not, I don't know nothing about nobody. So I had sense enough to hire the people I needed to do the parts that I needed to make this happen. Now, when you get to putting people on the stage, now I know about that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
just as long as I get it going. So.
You're watching Off the Cuff. I'm your host, Mark Scott. We got Mr. Ronnie McNair in the studio today. Just talking some really good stuff. And make sure you go down. Give them that address again.
The address at the club is 7 North Saginaw Street, Suite 2B, right there in Michigan. Setting Sunset Island nightclub. It's called Ronnie McNair's Sunset Island.
That's right. We can't wait to be there, man. Can't wait to hear it. So you're watching Off the Cuff live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other top social media platforms. So like us, follow us, comments, call in 313-355-6018. And thank you for watching WJZZ TV, the coolest station in the world. So now we're back to Ronnie McNair. Show your album.
These are some CDs that I had in the past that really, can you see that?
Yeah.
It's called Living My Life, and it's a 12 set CD, and the songs are about, some of them about my life. I got a song called Pontiac about my city on it, and I got some cover tunes. But it did Tyrone DJ. Come on, man. Used to do the place over
In Detroit.
Yeah.
See, but I ain't from Detroit.
Oh, well, at 11 o'clock, he used to have the ballroom over there off of John R. Off of John R. Anyway, he came to me, called me up one day, and he said, hey, man, you know what? I gave him a CD. He said, that CD you got is the bad. He said, you know what? You got the best, don't nobody know about it, CD. So he said, we put it on in the place and just let it play. And people was jamming on it, so I went and we did some business the other day. But this CD didn't really get on the radio. But if you go online, you can get. If you get online, you can get this. I think you might like it. So, and this is one I had before that. Ronnie Mac Company. I did this before I left Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got a lot of good people on here too. So if you get a chance, download them and check it out.
Yeah.
It didn't really get no play on the radio, so I'm going to go to y'all. We don't need the radio now.
Yeah. The Ronnie's got some really, really good music.
There was a song I did on
music.
Rance Allen years ago. Didn't nobody know I did that. A song
Okay.
called God Can Do the Impossible.
Rance Allen.
Yeah, and I'm getting ready to redo it on our lead singer, Alexander Morris.
Okay.
Because he has gospel ties too. So,
Okay.
and he's really,
So,
Yeah.
so you got a label,
yeah, I got label.
and you got artists on your label.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And who are those? Who?
Well, my
What's the name of your label first?
Is Motor Mac.
Okay.
It's Motor Mac Productions. We got Motor Mac Productions, and I also Sunset Island is one of my production companies too.
Okay.
But my nephew, he's a spoken word artist, and he raps too.
Oh, okay.
Bad man, his name is Jew Hall. He's made a little name around.
Okay.
And so he's working with me now. We're getting ready to do a release on him. And my daughter-in-law, who's they live in Georgia now, in Atlanta. Her name is Princess Odelia McNear now.
Mm-hmm.
And man, she's phenomenal. She's my secret weapon. She's going to be at the party. I'm
Okay.
telling you, man, she is so great. And those are our first two artists going to be out. So we're looking for other people too.
Okay, So, how many artists do you have on your label?
Right now, I didn't have the two
Just the two?
just signed to me.
Okay.
But there are other people that I'm looking at, you know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, what you want to do is to if you get your artists known, and if they really like them, the producers will come looking for you. I would like to do a song on her. Please come do it. When they hear this girl's voice, they're going to really go crazy because she's phenomenal. Matter of fact, she's on a song on my, one of the Christmas albums called, well, you'll see it, we're singing the Christmas song by Nat King Cole, but I got it in that swing groove, and it's from a video we did called At Home, Christmas at Home with Ronnie McNair. That's what we do. If you pull that up, you can hear her voice. You see it come up, Christmas at Home. You see that?
I see Christmas song.
At Home, Ronnie McNair.
I'm looking for it now. Oh wow.
But it says At Home, Ronnie McNair, At Home.
No, but I see the one you just did. The video on. We're gonna play a little bit of that.
You mean with Gwen?
With Gwen Fox. Yeah.
And you know, let me tell you something. I got to tell you this about how that she did this.
Okay.
Now, last year, I was on the way to the UK for our tour, and I was trying to get this done before Christmas. And I said, Gwen, and me and Gwen both from Pontiac, and we never did anything
I didn't know
together
that.
from
I didn't
all
know
the
that.
years.
Okay.
And we know each other's parents and everything. So I said, Gwen, I need you to sing on this song. And she said, okay, but my birthday is night. This is my birthday dinner. I said, well, okay, babe. She said, well, I'll come and then I'll do something. Then I'll go back to the dinner. She came to my house, and when she started doing the song, she said, Ronnie, you know what? Forget that. I want to stay here and do this with you. I said, you going to do that for me? She said, yeah. She came and she did that performance without even knowing the song.
Is that right?
She let me, I mouth-fed her, but I knew that she knew how to do. See, now David Ruffin taught me this. I would dub David Ruffin in,
Okay.
and I would tell David, well, man, I want you to do like David would say, how you want it? I said, well, I want it like you hear me singing it, but I want your voice. He said, that's what it wants. And so I told him, I said, you know what, man, if I don't make a dime, I'm so glad that the guy that saw my girl thought to sing my song. And he told, you know what he did? He said, F you. I did this because I respect your talent, and don't you forget that. Man, it made me feel so good, man.
Yeah.
So this is what I feel about her. She did it. So now the next year, it came out last year, but it didn't really get planned but about a week before Christmas. So this Christmas, I called her up. I said, Gwen, you know what? You did me such a favor the last time. And I said, you did some things on that song that made some moves on it that I didn't put on there. So I'm giving you part of the song, too. And she helped write the song with me and Kevin Crosby and my wife. All four of us did some lyrics together.
All right.
But you're talking about that's talent when you can come in, don't know the song, and you hear what you're supposed to do and you do it. That's who I like to work with.
That's what you're supposed to do it.
See what I'm saying?
That's what you're supposed to do it. You know, what gets me is when artists come in and oh man, Don used to fall out on this one. I ain't feeling it.
You sound like it too. I know him.
I ain't feeling it. and Don would say, "What do you mean you don't feel it? You know, you're an artist, aren't you? Is this what you do? Do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Feel it or not. Make yourself.
Yeah.
When you're supposed to act out the lyrics
exactly.
and make yourself.
Oh man, he used to tell me all the time. You know, they can't see you, so you need to let them see you through your voice.
There you go.
You know,
Like Barry used to say, it's in the groove. The Motown theme was just in the groove. What's in the groove that counts. Even when you put a video out, you're only doing that to see who's doing the record. It don't make no difference if you mess the video up or not. The record is what's happening.
that's right.
They're not. The video is not making them like the record. It's the record. See,
Oh man, see now this is some real stuff here. This brother has been through I know you've been through it.
oh yeah,
You've been through it.
That's
you know.
life, man. The
Yeah.
way of the world is you go through it. And
Yeah.
you got to make sure that you don't. What side of the way of the world you want to be on?
Yeah.
I've been on both sides, and I prefer being on the side that's the just at this time. I'll be 74 years old, man, in 2 days.
Okay.
So, like, I look back at my life and I ask myself, yeah, am I really on the way to 80?
Ooh.
I don't feel none of that.
No.
But still, can't take it for granted. So, wait a minute, man. Most people, like my father passed at 75. My mom passed at 83. And I said, the way realistically, you're looking at, you can see what you got left. So do you want to keep on wasting time or you want to try to do something?
Yeah.
That's why I say, you know what, I got to do something other than, I've been with the Four Tops 22 and a half years, great job, but what do I have other than my paycheck and a little money I might have saved? So now that I got this club, I can leave something to my family.
Yeah.
Plus the city gave me my own street in 2016.
Stop.
16 and 17.
Congratulations.
Like,
Congratulations.
you know what? And let me tell you something, man. My wife came to me and asked me about that. And that's something that, I take for granted because you see people's names on streets and even how they do Martin Luther King. You look like people don't even care that's that street or not, or whoever's street. So what do it mean because they give you a street name? So when she came to me, I said, what they giving me a street for? I ain't did nothing.
Yeah.
For no street.
Yeah.
And then, then I said, plus I don't want to hear what the haters going to be saying. Oh, what he get a street for? And then sometimes I be saying, what your mama get one for? That's how crazy I used to talk. But, what you mean, well, I'm getting it for you okay. What if you get one? What if I do you like that? Yeah. But anyway, it don't make no difference.
Yeah.
But I took that attitude too. I said, I understand why they saying that. What I do, this lady that was working with my wife, Sherry Scott. Her name was Sherry Scott.
Okay.
She said, tell him to shut up because he came out of that east side without going to the penitentiary and the graveyard. And she says he made something out of himself, got one of the biggest groups in the world. He said, them kids could look at that sign and say, if Ronnie McNeil could do it, I could do it. Now, you see, I was trying to be so humble about it too. What I deserve a street for? I didn't even think that way. And when she told me that, I said, you know what?
You inspire some other people to do, to come up.
Now I'm so proud
that
they even thought enough of me. I'm so proud that my wife thought enough of me that I should have, that she the one that engineered it. But the council, they gave it to me. When I ride down, and I got part of my street was cut off. The west on the other side of Woodward, Main Woodward goes all the way from Detroit to Pontiac.
Right.
Turns into West. They got my street started right there. So it's people that ride by there and probably look and say, who is right there? But at least they got Google now. And they can Google it up and see who Ronnie McNeil is.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed, man.
Oh man, congratulations, man. I didn't know that. That's some news for me. Yeah. Wow. Ronnie McNair. So you're watching Off the Cuff live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and the other top social media platforms. So like us, follow us, leave a comment, call in, 313-355-6018, and subscribe. We want to thank you for watching WJZZ TV, coolest TV station in the world. I didn't say that right, but I'm going to get it right next time. We're on the last leg here, Ronnie, but you got so much more to talk about, man. You know what? When we were in Australia, you remember when we went shopping? I'm gonna get on something that's not even related to me.
Well, I can't remember. I was shopping, but but I don't know. I remember this. That cereal, a box of Frosted Flakes cost $7. I said, man, what's wrong with y'all crazy? Cost of living was so high. What's that TV? 32-inch TV was $800.
Wow.
I said, man, let me go back home, man.
Yeah. It's crazy over there for sure.
Well, you was trying to remember something.
Well, no, I went to the grocery store.
Oh yeah.
And I was in line, and it just made me think about how fortunate we are in America, this greatest country in the world, right?
Supposedly.
Yeah. So this lady was in line, and I have to share this. She was in line, and I was, right behind me, and I said something, and she said, "Oh, you're from the States, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "What's wrong with you people over there? Y'all got everything. You don't get along, That made me think. Me think.
I've heard it, and in America we are greedy. And when you go out over the rest of the world, I've seen things I can compare.
Right.
And people probably greedy in a lot of places. But over here, I got a slogan. Just got it, and getting it we're getting it copyrighted and everything, because I've said it so many times, and I've never heard it anymore. So we're getting it now. Where I got bumper stickers and hats coming out, and T-shirts called "In America, you have the right to be stupid." See, what other country, and everywhere I've been, what other country charges their children to go to school, to learn, when they're going to be the future caretakers of the country and the world? Why would you make it hard for a child? But then that goes into another thing where they're making it hard for some others. They make it hard for one that they know can do it.
Hey man, pick that CD up again and show that to the people. And tell them where they can get it, man.
Well, you can go online and get this everywhere, Spotify, all that stuff. Where all your download sites you can get it. It just didn't never get it, the real play. But I'd like you to check it out. I think you might like it. I got some good stuff on here. This is Living My Life, and this is called Ronnie Mac and Company.
Right. So Ronnie Mac and Company, Living My Life.
And this was done this was done almost 8-9 years ago, but it never got. It's like new, really. Check it out, y'all.
Yeah, Ronnie, you have a really jazz flavor to your music.
Willie Ford used to, of the Dramatics.
Oh yeah, I know.
Would come
Willie
up to me and say, "Ron, you a jazz singer. You ain't no R&B singer."
Willie.
And then I got another friend would say, "Not really." He said, "You really a blues singer. You trying to do all the rest of this stuff." He said, "You really from Alabama for real." When we would talk to him. But you try to do it all.
Yeah. Well, Willie, I love Willie. Willie supported.
Rest in peace.
Supported. Yeah, rest in peace. He supported me with the Miracles and after the Miracles. After Bobby passed in 2013. Yeah.
I want to leave with just one thing. I know
Sure.
you got to
Go
check,
ahead.
But there was that situation when I was in the studio and Sly walked in, Jameson and all of them. When I was 17, I cut a song called "Sitting in My Class Watching the Girl in the Next Row" on Dito label with Dr. Kyles over there, Detroit sound. And nothing ever happened with the record. I got 20 years later, I was doing my own thing in England, and I was on the stage playing, and man, after one of my songs, one of the English kids hollered up, "Sitting in my class." So I said to myself, "It can't be with mine. It can't be that." Because they ain't even played on radio, I don't think. And I kept playing, and then another "Sitting in my class." So I told the cats, I said, "Look, man, I don't know how." I said, "I'm thinking I know how," because I didn't know about bootlegging when I recorded the record. I knew about it after I got, some age on me. And so I sang it. And do you know they started singing it with me? Man, it touched my heart so good. One eye almost had a tear, but my other eye had vengeance. What so-and-so did this to me? You know, and I went down off the stage after I got there, and the boy walked up and said, would you sign for my record? Your record? And he showed me a 45, and it was almost, the color was a little different than the original. And he said, I paid 40 quid for this. I said, what's that? He said, 40 pounds. That was like $60, $80 in American money. I said, you paid that one for this 145? I didn't get a dime, no kind of way, because it had turned into a collector's item.
Of course.
It went on to be $2,000 on eBay if you find an original copy. To this day, I think it's still 700, 200, 2,000 if you could find one.
Okay.
So, you know, that lets you know about things. But you know what happened? For years, I went about that. And to this day, I had to go, I've been singing after a guy took me and said, I want you to go somewhere with me. So he took me to one of these Northern Soul shows, they call it over there. I went in there, man, they ran up on me like I was Michael Jackson. I did not know I was happening like that. He said, I told you you should have come with me. After that, they started hiring me. And do you know, and I'm over 51 years old. I'll be 74 next 2 days. Just last October, I had to go and sing, sitting in my class, and 3 other songs, and got $1,000 for just doing it. And I had to go over, and sometimes I take a cap and gown, act like I'm young, and I'll sing it. But I'm so blessed.
The brother don't look like he's 74 years old.
Oh,
Get out of here with that.
Man, I'm 74, man.
Well, hey man, you got to come back.
My man.
I got to have you back, man.
Anytime.
You're watching Off the Cuff. I'm your host, Mark Scott, and it's been a pleasure to have Ronnie in the studio with me, and we can go over a whole lot of stuff. I mean, we got so much other stuff we can talk about. Go ahead.
My documentary is coming out. We worked on it 3 years ago, and they took it the wrong way.
Oh, knock it off.
Well, they were going the wrong way. It was like you were saying. They wanted it to be about, because who is this guy that's been with all of these big people, named people, don't nobody know who he is. I said, okay, man, but that's not my story. My story is how I made it from the projects of Pontiac and made something out of myself without, like that lady said, and made it to the 4 tops. So the name of my documentary is The Life and Times of Louis Ronald McNair, from the bottom to the top. 4 tops, that is, the Ronnie McNair story. So we started, they're shooting it at the club, and they said, you know what, you come full circle. We want you to sit on the stage. This is what we're going to do. You sit on the stage and tell your story from the time you was coming this world to now. We'll edit it, and then some parts are going to get actors to act out some, like
Sure.
my mom and dad used to fight when I was young, so they'll act that out. Me and my brother and sister crying, please, all that old stuff, man. So
Wendy is gone.
that's my daughter. I named the song after my daughter.
Is that right?
It's not about her, but she was born in '74, so I said I gave her that name.
We out of time.
Okay.
You're watching Off the Cuff live streaming on Wjzz Cool TV. I wish we had more time, because we got so much more we could be talking about. We love you. Come back again. Tune in. We're here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We love you. You have a good night. God bless. Love
See
you.
y'all